Hey guys, I am halfway done with the trail and I wanted to do an update video on my gear and show you what has been working for me, what's different, and yeah. Okay, I'll try and make this sort of quick. I'll try and keep it under 10 minutes. Um, I have the Blaze AC60, same pack as before. Works great, except I had the frame sheet crack. The straps connect through these, and so the strap kept pulling out. I emailed Granite Gear and they sent me a new one. It took them like 3 days to get there and it was perfect. I have a trash bag liner that I put in here to keep my sleeping bag and clothes waterproof. Not so much for the rain, but for sweat, because when you sweat it gets the bottom wet and soaks in. So that is a must for me. I have a different rain cover. My other one made by Granite Gear was more like a water soaker. This one is more waterproof. My mom made this out of the same material, but it's coated in something. Yeah, I like that. And same tarp, the Kelty Noah something. I barely used that. I used it like, I don't know, maybe 20 times, with a bunch of ropes attached to it. Shoes, I still have these as my camp shoes, the homemade sandals. I want to make a video on how to make those when I get home, but that'll probably be a while. These are the shoes I just finished using. They have about 1,300 miles on them from before the trip and they're shredded. They worked amazingly, and there's still enough tread on there that I could put a couple hundred more miles on them if the top wasn't so bad. But those are done, and I got some nice pink shoes, same kind, but they were $20 cheaper for the ugly color, so got them. Darn Tough socks. These are the cycling ones with no padding. I didn't start out with those, but I like these a lot better than these in the summer because my sweat will soak up into the padding and just make it stiff, and these are getting worn out. I mean, you can see, and so when these get wet they just tear my feet up. I'm going to be switching these out next outfitter I can find, sending those back to Darn Tough, and they send you a new pair when they're worn out, so I'll do that. And a hat, a buff, a bandana, electronics and stuff. I have, well, first my bug net and earplugs. I have the charger for my camera battery. I have a card reader and a couple extra SD cards for my cameras. 3 charging cables for all my devices, a double wall USB charger, and headphones, flashlight, the battery for the flashlight. I always keep the battery out because if it'll hit the button in the bag and turn on. Some flashlights have locking for that, but that one doesn't. My Anchor battery bank. It's like 11 ounces, I think. It's great. Never ran out of battery on anything with that. My iPod Classic. My iPhone. Uploading another video right now. Pocket knife. This is little tweezers, nail clippers, and scissors that I keep in this little bag because these scissors are like bent for some reason. Don't know why, so they would cut stuff if they weren't in a bag. A piece of stainless steel in a little sleeve that I use as a mirror. I would always recommend having these things for if you're out for a long time, just because if your nails get messed up or your toenails are hurting, you need to be able to clip them. If you have a tick or something, tweezers. I have my toiletries. There's toilet paper in here, Germex, and I bought some wipes. They're really heavy, and I've only used them a little bit, but what I use them mostly for is when my pack on the hip belt and when I sweat, it will give me like salt, and I sometimes use that just to wash off at the end of the day and let the hip belt like rash heal. A bear bag rope and a rope for my tarp, a piece of Tyvek, and a little cup that I use I have water bags by Platypus, and sometimes if it's a puddle you can't fill them up easily, so you scoop the water and pour it into the bag. For titanium tent stakes. I sent the rest of the ones I had at the beginning home. My Nikon and the tripod for that wouldn't go without this, and the bag for it's right here. This is, I had my food bag stolen, so this is a different pot. It's the same company, pretty much the same thing, same size, but it has a metal lid. And I like that a lot better because I cook over the fire sometimes, and the plastic one seemed like it would melt. New titanium spoon. Shout out to KMJ Films for sending me a new one, because my other one was in my food bag. I made a new stove because my other one was in my food bag also. It was horrible. It still worked, but I just made it with my pocket knife, so I couldn't make it very well. I'm going to be throwing that one out. And in a hiker box in, where was that? Harper's Ferry. Someone had made like 10 of these stoves. It works amazing. I don't even need a pot holder for it. You just set it up here and all these light up. I love this thing. A lighter some guy gave me. A 2-ounce bottle of fuel. I found that I use like a 1/4 of an ounce each time I cook. So all I need is 2 ounces. I started out with an 8-ounce bottle. That was also in my food bag, so that was gone. I keep all that inside this mesh bag inside my pot. A toothbrush and toothpaste. Food bag. This I found in a hiker box. It's by Outdoor Research. It had holes in it, like little, from like someone left it in a fire or something, but it's free and it works well. My trekking poles, the Lecky Tour Makalu, whatever they are. Love those things. Not so fond of these really thick straps. They get really gross and the rubber handles get really sweaty. And GoPro stays on there. I am filming with my GoPro now. In here I have my journal and part of the guide and a Sharpie. And I would recommend journaling. There's so many people that don't, but then I can look back and see what I did on a day, see how long I've been. If it's been like a month and I wanted to see where I've gotten in the month, I can look at that. When I'm done, I can look at it. And there's a lot of people who they don't remember what they did last week, and so a real journal is good. People also journal on their phone, but people have had problems like their phone dies, stuff like that. Then they just lose their whole journal. Hammock. This I didn't have at the beginning. Hammock and the Eno straps. This is just an Eno hammock, and I use the carabiners to hold my camera bag on the front of my backpack. Z-Packs 20-degree sleeping bag. It's really hot right now, so I don't really use this very much. I will keep it underneath me usually when I'm sleeping in a shelter and use my hammock as a blanket. That works really well, and if I wake up cold, then I'll just crawl in that for an hour or two while it's cool and then wake up sweating. And I keep a Event Sea to Summit dry bag. I keep this in there. But it wouldn't be worth switching it out from my 20-degree bag, because most of the 50-degree bags weigh more than this one. So I'm fine with carrying this and this. And clothes, I have my fleece. I sent my jacket home. I have picked these up at Goodwill. This, and I guess just these two. I have another pair of running shorts, a synthetic, I guess polyester shirt. It says t-shirt for at camp. Camp underwear, my hiking shirt, my hiking underwear, and this is hiking pants. This is for at camp. And then plus I'm wearing my leggings and my long sleeve shirt. I have a lot more clothing than when I started, but in the summer I found it's worth it to have more, because when you sweat and it stays in your clothes, you can't really wash it as well in the creek. When you wash it, your clothes stay wet. It's hard to get things to dry. So having more options when it's hot is something I learned is important. This is my Thermarest Neo Air. I made that stuff sack and I keep it in there. And don't really like it because it's full of mold. Every one that's out, every blow-up mat fills with mold because of the moisture in your breath. For water, I picked up a Gatorade bottle. I still have the 2 platypus bags I started with. they're holding up great, but they're just not as convenient to drink out of. I decided I liked using an actual bottle, so I've been doing that, and then Sawyer filter just screws on there and it's filtered through. It's probably the small version of this is the most popular filter I've seen out there. And I think I got everything. I wanted to say thank you to Miss Debbie. She sent me a package with a bunch of food, some Pop-Tarts, a bunch of tuna, some chicken. I already ate another one of these that she sent me, some gum, some Skittles, and she sent me a bunch of like cooked apples that were like applesauce things. Those were really good, but I ate them all when I opened the box. So yeah, I think that's all. I didn't make it under 10 minutes, but yeah. If you have any questions or anything about what I've showed you or the trail or anything, just leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer any questions or anything. Yeah, thank you guys.